It was more than just a delicatessen. It was a sort of dwarf community center and meeting place. The babble of voices stopped when Angua entered, bending almost double, but started up again with slightly more volume and a few laughs when Carrot followed. He waved cheerfully at the other customers. Then he carefully removed 2 chairs. It was just possible to sit upright if you sat on the floor. "Very nice," said Angua. "Ethnic." "I come in here quite a lot," said Carrot. "The food's good, and, of course, it pays to keep your ear to the ground." "That'd certainly be easy here," said Angua, and laughed. "Pardon?" "Well, I mean, the ground is so much closer?" She felt the pit opening wider with every word. The noise level had suddenly dropped again. Said Carrot, staring fixedly at her. "How can I put this? People are talking in dwarfish, but they're listening in human. Sorry." Carrot smiled, and then nodded at the cook behind the counter and cleared his throat noisily. "I think I might have a throat sweet somewhere," Angua began. "I was ordering breakfast," said Carrot. "You know the menu off by heart?" "Oh yes, but it's written on the wall as well." Angua turned and looked again at what she thought were merely random scratches. "It's Sargam," said Carrot, "an ancient and poetic runic script whose origins are lost in the mists of time, but it's thought to have been invented even before the gods." "Gosh, what does it say?" Carrot really cleared his throat this time. "Sauce, egg, beans, and rat, 11 pence. Sauce, rat, and fried slice, 10 pence. Cream cheese rat, 9 pence. Rat and beans, 8 pence. Rat and ketchup, 7 pence. Rat, 4 pence. "Why does ketchup cost almost as much as the rat?" said Angua. "Have you ever tried rat without ketchup?" said Carrot. "Anyway, I ordered you dwarf bread. Have you ever eaten dwarf bread?" "No." "Everyone should try it once," said Carrot. He appeared to consider this. "Most people do," he added. Author's note. Rat and cream cheese is only one of the famous Discworld dishes available in cosmopolitan Ankh-Morpork. According to the Guild of Merchants publication, Welcome to Ankh-Morpork, City of 1,000 Surprises, also to be bought in its well-stuffed emporia are Slumpy, Jammy Devils, Ficken Haddock, Distressed Pudding, Clooty Dumplings, not to be confused with the Scottish Clooty Dumpling, which is a kind of suet pudding full of fruit. The Ankh-Morpork version sits on the tongue like finest meringue, and on the stomach like a concrete bowling ball. And, not to be forgotten, the Knuckle Sandwich, made from the finest pig knuckles. Not for something, as it said, for a true taste of Ankh-Morpork, try a Knuckle Sandwich. End author's note. Elsewhere, 3.5 minutes after waking up, Captain Samuel Vimes, night watch, staggered up the last few steps to the roof of the city's opera house, gasped for breath, and threw up "Allegro ma non troppo." Then he leaned against the wall, waving his crossbow vaguely in front of him. There wasn't anyone else on the roof. There were just the leads, stretching away, drinking up the morning sunlight. It was already almost too hot to move. When he felt a bit better, he poked around among the chimneys and skylight, but there were a dozen ways down, and 1,000 places to hide. He could see right into his room from here. Come to that, he could see into the rooms of most of the city. Catapult. No. Oh well, at least there'd been witnesses. He walked to the edge of the roof and peered over. "Hello there," he said. He blinked. It was 6 stories down, and not a sight to look at on a recently emptied stomach. Could you come up here, please?" he said. Vimes stood back. There was a scrape of stone, and a gargoyle pulled itself laboriously over the parapet, moving like a cheap stop-motion animation. He didn't know much about gargoyles. Carrot had said something once about how marvelous it was, an urban troll species that had evolved a symbiotic relationship with gutters, and he had admired the way they funneled runoff water into their ears and out through fine sieves in their mouths. They were probably the strangest species on the disc. Author's note. Wrong. Vimes didn't travel much except on foot, and knew little of the Lancra suicide bush, for example, or the shadow lemma, which exists in only 2 dimensions and eats mathematicians, or the quantum weather butterfly. But it is possible that the strangest and possibly saddest species on Discworld is the hermit elephant. This creature, lacking the thick hide of its near relatives, lives in huts, moving up and building extensions as its size increases. It's not unknown for a traveler on the plains of Hawandaland to wake up in the morning in the middle of a village that wasn't there the night before. End author's note. You didn't get many birds nesting on buildings colonized by gargoyles, and bats tended to fly around them. "What's your name, friend?" Vimes' lips moved as he mentally inserted all those sounds unobtainable to a creature whose mouth was stuck permanently open. Cornice overlooking Broadway. A gargoyle's personal identity was intimately bound up with its normal location, like a limpet. "Well now, Cornice," he said, "do you know who I am?" "Oh," said the gargoyle sullenly. Vimes nodded. It sits up here in all weather, straining gnats through its ears, he thought. People like that don't have a crowded address book. Even whelks get out more. "I'm Captain Vimes of the watch." The gargoyle pricked up its huge ears. Vimes worked this one out too, and blinked. "You know Corporal Carrot?" Vimes snorted. "I grew up here," he thought, "and when I walk down the street, everyone says, 'Who's that glum bugger?' Carrot's been here a few months and everyone knows him. And he knows everyone. Everyone likes him. I'd be annoyed about that, if only he wasn't so likable." "You live right up here," said Vimes, interested despite the more pressing problems on his mind. "How come you know about Carrot?" "Uzzy. Egg. Did someone else come up here just now?" "Egg. Did you see who it was?" Holofern Street, Vimes translated. Whoever it was would be well away by now. Cornice volunteered. "A what?" "Oh, fireworks!" "A fireworks stick? Like a rocket stick?" "You point it and it goes bang?" Vimes scratched his head. Sounded like a wizard staff, but they didn't go bang. "Well, thanks," he said. "You've been..." He turned back towards the stairs. Someone had tried to kill him, and the patrician had warned him against investigating the theft from the Assassin's Guild. Theft, he said. Up until then, Vimes hadn't even been certain there had been a theft. And then, of course, there are the laws of chance. They play a far greater role in police procedure than narrative causality would like to admit. For every murder solved by the careful discovery of a vital footprint or a cigarette end, 100 failed to be resolved because the wind blew some leaves the wrong way, or it didn't rain the night before. So many crimes are solved by a happy accident, by the random stopping of a car, by an overheard remark, by someone of the right nationality happening to be within 5 miles of the scene of the crime without an alibi. Even Vimes knew about the power of chance. His sandal clinked against something metallic.